Hi guys, my name is Michelle, and in December 2020, the worst phase of my life began. I made choices and I made mistakes and I made actions that were unbecoming of a parent. And these mistakes had dire consequences that involved not just myself, but the people I love most in this world that I brought into this world, my 3 daughters, Autumn, Olivia, and Winter. As most of you guys know, I am extremely open and I am extremely transparent when it comes to my drug abuse, and I don't leave out the bad parts because the bad parts brought me to where I am today. It took me a long time to get sober, but I did it. Something that, unfortunately, so many addicts can never say they can do or they have done. I just posted a QR code and I also put a link on my bio to a change.org petition to sign. Because though I am well aware that my actions caused me to be involved with Child Protective Services and the Social Service Agency, I believe that my case should have gone a lot differently. I was a kid that grew up in the system, and now I'm a parent that's involved with the system. And there's been corruption since as far back as I can remember. They don't care about where your kids go. As long as the house is shiny and pretty and the parents can smile so charmingly, they don't care what happens once those kids go to their house. And my story is not unique. This happens to so many people, especially people with substance abuse disorder, that CPS comes in and they have no intentions on giving back those children to their families. They have no intentions of reunification. In my case, my kids were put in a home that were already lining up to adopt them. The paperwork was already going before the case even really started, before we even stepped foot in that courtroom for the first time. I am not absolving myself of any responsibility because I, from day one, said I fucked up. That's the first thing I said to anyone the day they took my kids from me. I walked into my house, into the room, I sat down, everybody was sitting silently. I was crying, obviously, and I said, I fucked up, guys. I fucked up. Since day one, I took responsibility. And in no way am I trying to blame anybody else in this case, the social workers, the counsel, the judge, because on the surface, they were doing their job. And I often thanked the social workers for caring enough about my kids to make sure that they have a safe home to come home to. And I respect social workers because they do go out there and they see the worst cases imaginable that I don't even want to bring up. And they have to go into that and bring this broken, scared, sad little child out of dangerous and horrific situations. So what social workers do, I give them mad props. However, I began to lose respect for them as soon as they start fabricating stories, twisting events, and I don't know, pairing up with the people who are against us so that they ensure that they get their grants and that they get their monetary incentives to continue to find foster care and adopting parents for these kids. I'm not saying every case is the most horrific case, and I'm not saying that every social worker is out there to get you, because there have been social workers in my case that were after the fact that were like, that was done wrong. They came forward and they were like, your kid never said that. That was just put in the report, and there's nothing they can do because the sentence and
and the judgment has been ruled, and there's nothing we can do to appeal it. And when I did try to appeal it, I sent it on June 16th to the Supreme Court to appeal my case, and they sent me on the 21st of June a denial letter. The Supreme Court that is probably over capacity of cases, and they have so many cases, but they had time between the 16th and the few days it took for them to get my letter. They had time to send me something. By the time they got my letter, they already sent me a denial. I was still receiving the little receipts that you get that says, hey, we got your stuff, we got your mail. I was still getting those after, and they were dated the 23rd, the 24th, but the 21st, I got a denial letter. And they didn't even get it until the 23rd or 24th. So that's corruption right there. Anyway, I don't want to get too much of my emotion and my anger involved in this, but I will say that I understand my mistakes led to consequences that I can never change and I have to live with for the rest of my life. I understand that. But I made this petition to help the next family to not ever have to go through that. A little something about me is that my biological father was in prison when I was a baby, and I was put up for adoption. And he didn't know about that. So back in 1987, 88, he went to the courts and he made it so that if you're incarcerated, you have the right to know if your child is going to be adopted. And you cannot let that child be adopted without the consent of the parent that is incarcerated. He changed that law. And here I am, trying to make a change, just like my father did before me. I'm trying to make it so other parents don't have to go through addiction and then losing their children and then expected to just quit, because we're obviously struggling with addiction for one reason or another, and then adding that stress on top of it, and then having absolutely no help, being thrown to the wolves. Nobody's gonna win that way. There was so many times I talked to the social worker to her face, multiple social workers actually, two specifically. I told them to their face as they said, if you need help finding rehab, if you need help finding resources, let me know. Oh, well, I need help. Okay, well, let us know. Okay, but I need help. I'm trying to get help. Okay, well, let us know. And they effed off. They do not care about reunification. Not all of them. Especially the ones involved in my case. There were social workers fraternizing with the foster parents. Best friends, having dinner together, hanging out. These people who have my children are intertwined with the people who have the right to take my children. Anyway, I really hope that people sign this petition, they share it, they know somebody who would find this really near and dear to their heart because they maybe have gone through something like this. I really hope that this petition can make some kind of change. I am trying to help other people not do and go through what I went through. They offered services, but it was during COVID, so none of the services were available. So they didn't give us any alternatives. They offered these services and then were basically like, figure it out. Even though on the contract that I signed when they first took the kids was, we as a social worker are going to help you find these services. No. I even told a social worker once to her face, I understand that I'm an adult, but right now I'm a drug addict. I need you to be my mom, hold my hand, wake me up, make sure I brush my teeth and get to school on time. Because that's what kind of mind I'm in right now. I need your help. And she said, if you don't stop with your attitude, I'm going to cancel your visit today. So please sign my petition. I'll probably be bringing this up multiple times in the future here in the coming days, and maybe updating. I already have 7 people that signed it. So anyway, please sign it. I really want to make a change. And if it's not for me, I want to make it for everyone else. And I will talk to you guys later.